"You're safe?" he said quickly. Her gaze was wild. "Don't let them find me. My chair, they burned it." "Who?" "My sister, Veronica." Tears streaked her bruised face. "She said I didn't deserve the company. Our father was a fool." Then she slipped back into unconsciousness. Nearly 3 hours later, the ambulance finally arrived. The paramedics confirmed what Chase already feared. This wasn't random. She'd been drugged and beaten deliberately. "Someone wanted her dead," one muttered. Chase followed them to St. Catherine's Hospital in Bloomington, Belle clutching her stuffed rabbit in the passenger seat. "We'll help her, right, Daddy?" she asked. "We already are," he said. At the hospital, Officer Martinez took his statement. "You probably saved her life, Mr. Hale." Chase nodded, exhausted. Belle asked softly, "Can we wait till she wakes up?" They waited all day. Chase thought of the wife he'd lost 2 years earlier to cancer, of the crooked partner who stole his company while he was drowning in grief. The old farmhouse was all he had left, but saving this woman stirred something inside him that he hadn't felt in years. Purpose. That evening, Dr. Patel approached. "She's stable, critical but alive. Whoever did this wanted to make sure she couldn't recover." The next morning, Belle insisted they visit again. In the room, Chase saw her face properly for the first time. Young, beautiful beneath the bruises, maybe early 30s. Belle placed her rabbit beside her. "Now you won't be lonely." Hours later, Officer Martinez returned with a grim face. "We've identified her. Her name's Valentina Cross, CEO of Cross Technologies. Missing 2 days. We believe her stepsister and board members tried to kill her for control of the company." Chase stared at the powerful woman, lying helpless in a hospital bed. "You'll testify?" Martinez asked. "Whatever she needs," Chase said. The following days blurred. Belle brought drawings, reading stories aloud because Mommy said sick people can still hear. Chase sat by the bed, feeling his walls crumble. On the 4th morning, the impossible happened. Valentina woke. "You're the one who found me," she whispered. "Yeah, anyone would have done the same." "No," she said firmly. "Most wouldn't have stopped for someone like me." "You're not broken," Chase replied. Their eyes met, a fragile understanding forming. Belle bounded in. "Hi, I'm Belle. I gave you Mr. Bunny." Valentina smiled through tears. "He helped a lot, sweetheart." Later, when they were alone, Chase told her about Andrea, the wife he'd lost, and how life had fallen apart. Valentina listened, then confessed. "They burned my wheelchair while I watched. Said I didn't deserve the company. Then they failed," Chase said quietly. "Because you're still here." Valentina's voice trembled. "You saved me, Chase Hale. I just did what anyone should." "No," she said. "You saw me when no one else would." From that day on, he and Belle visited daily. Chase built ramps in his mind as Valentina planned revenge and recovery. When the hospital prepared to discharge her, she sighed. "I can't go back to my penthouse. It's a crime scene. Veronica tried to have me committed. I have nowhere to go." "Then stay with us," Chase said before thinking. "The farmhouse isn't fancy, but it's safe. I can modify it for you." "Why would you do that?" "Because I don't see a CEO. I see someone who needs help." Belle tugged his sleeve. "She can have Mr. Bunny again, Daddy." Valentina laughed softly. "You're both impossible." "Fine, deal." For the next 3 days, Chase worked nonstop, borrowing an old wheelchair, building a ramp, fixing the bathroom, making a desk. Mrs. Dottie brought casseroles and blankets. "Make her feel like family," she said. When Chase drove Valentina home from the hospital, Belle chattered nonstop. The farmhouse looked even older beside Valentina's sleek chair, but she smiled. "It's beautiful," she said. "It feels like home." Inside, she examined the handmade desk. "You built this?" "Nothing fancy. It's the kindest thing anyone's done for me." "You deserve kindness," he said quietly. Their eyes locked, until Belle burst in announcing, "Come see my room." Days passed easily. Valentina worked remotely, rebuilding her company from the kitchen table, while Chase did odd jobs and Belle counted butterflies during Valentina's therapy sessions. In the evenings, they sat by the fire, sharing stories of loss and survival. When my accident happened, Valentina said, people stopped calling. I wasn't convenient anymore. I know, Chase murmured. After Andrea died, the silence was worse than the grief. She studied him. Why aren't you angry? I was. But Belle once said sad daddies can't see happy things. I decided to try. She smiled faintly. Maybe that's why you found me. You see the good. He reached for her hand, and she didn't pull away. Two broken souls, holding on to warmth they'd forgotten they could feel. Weeks passed, and the quiet rhythm of farmhouse life began to heal them both. Chase fixed fences while Valentina joined video calls with lawyers, fighting to reclaim her company from her ruthless sister. Belle followed her everywhere, wheeling beside her in a smaller chair she called her race car. One night, Valentina rolled to the porch where Chase was sanding a piece of wood. You've done more for me than anyone in my world of billion-dollar smiles, she said. I owe you everything. You owe me nothing, Chase replied. But I'm rooting for you. Even if it means I'll leave? He looked at her, eyes soft. If you walk again, Valentina Cross, that's worth everything. She fell silent, touched beyond words. If I ever do, she said quietly, it'll be because you believed I could. Under his watch, she started daily therapy. Slow, painful sessions on parallel bars Chase built himself. The first time her legs trembled and she took a single step, Belle squealed. Daddy, she's walking. Valentina cried openly, clutching Chase's arm. You don't understand, she whispered. They said I never would. I told you, he said, smiling through tears. They were wrong. Within a month, she could move with crutches. The farmhouse echoed with laughter, Belle's drawings, and Valentina's business meetings. But Chase knew the world outside was waiting. One morning, a black SUV pulled up. Officer Martinez stepped out, holding a file. We have enough evidence. Veronica's been arrested for conspiracy and attempted murder, but she's fighting back. She hired the best lawyers in Chicago. Valentina's jaw tightened. Then, so will I? Chase hesitated. That means leaving here. Yes, she said softly, but not forever. Before dawn, she packed her few things. Belle clung to her. Promise you'll come back? I promise, little one. Valentina knelt, kissing her forehead. Then she turned to Chase. You saved my life. Now I need to save what's left of it. He nodded, though his heart ached. Go get your world back. As her car disappeared down the road, the farmhouse felt emptier than it ever had since Andrea's death. For days, Chase threw himself into work, but every sunset reminded him of her laughter echoing off the porch. Months passed. Belle would ask, When's Miss Val coming home? And Chase would only say, When she's ready. Then one morning, a thick envelope arrived, sealed with Cross Technology's crest. Inside was a handwritten letter. You once said people deserve kindness. You were wrong. They deserve second chances. You gave me mine. Come to Chicago. V. Tucked beneath was a plane ticket and a photo. Valentina standing tall beside her boardroom window. No wheelchair in sight. Chase froze. Belle squealed. She can walk. Daddy, she can walk. A week later, he stood awkwardly in the glittering lobby of Cross Tower, Belle holding his hand. The elevator doors opened, and there she was, radiant in a sleek dress, walking slowly but surely. I told you I'd come back for my world, she said. Turns out, my world wasn't this company. Before he could speak, she hugged him tightly. I never forgot the man who carried me out of the mud. He smiled. Guess I'm hard to forget. You are, she whispered. That night, she took them to a rooftop garden overlooking the city. Veronica's in prison. The company's stable. I bought back every share she stole. But none of it means anything without you too. Belle tugged her hand. Does that mean you're moving in with us again? Valentina laughed through tears. How about you both move here instead? Chase shook his head. This city's not built for farmers. Then we'll build our own space in it, she said. You fix my broken legs, Chase. Let me fix your broken dreams. He looked at her, no longer the broken woman he found in a ditch, but a survivor, strong and full of grace. I don't need fixing, he said softly. I just need you. Belle giggled. You're going to kiss now, right? They both laughed, but neither denied it. In the following months, Valentina transformed her Chicago mansion into something homely, complete with backyard garden and Belle's swing set. Chase worked as head of Cross Foundation's outreach program, helping families rebuild after tragedy. And Valentina, now walking freely, spoke publicly about recovery, resilience, and love. One afternoon, as spring sunlight poured over the city, Chase found her by the garden bench where it all began, her sketchbook open, her handwriting looping across a page. "What are you writing?" he asked. "Our story," she said, smiling. "The day you stopped for someone no one else would see." He knelt beside her, pulling a small box from his pocket. "Then maybe it's time for the next chapter." Her eyes widened as he opened it. A simple silver ring, modest but glowing. "Valentina Cross," he said quietly. "You once said I gave you a second chance. Truth is, you gave me one too. Will you marry me?" Tears filled her eyes. "Yes," she whispered. 1,000 times, yes. Belle came running from the porch, yelling, "Did she say yes?" "She did." Chase laughed, lifting her high. Valentina took his hand, sliding the ring onto her finger. "You saved me," Chase hailed. "But what you really did was teach me how to live again." He smiled, kissing her forehead. "And you taught me how to hope again." The three of them stood together, sunlight turning the skyline gold. From the road where he'd once found her broken and beaten to this moment of healing, they had come full circle. Proof that sometimes the most beautiful love stories begin on the darkest roads.